Hey, what's up guys? Alan here with EatSleepTrade.net. Gonna be bringing you guys the swing trading watch list and weekly market update for the week of May 31st, 2016. It is a short week as Monday was the holiday, Memorial Day, so happy Memorial Day to all you guys, and hopefully you enjoyed the extended weekend and got some quality time with friends and family, barbecuing, or doing what other kind of fun activity you guys can do. Thanks to all of our veterans that have served our country and made things like trading the stock market possible for the rest of us. So happy Memorial Day weekend to everybody, and let's take a look at the weekly watch list and market update. Alright, so first up we want to take a look at the SPX S&P 500, and pretty interesting week last week as we broke out of a very significant consolidation. All the bears were ranting and raving, here's the areas where we mount our next big crash. We've put in an head and shoulders pattern up here. This neckline around 2040 was going to snap and break, and the chart was going to crash all the way back down to 1800 or lower. And on, let's see, that was Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, so Tuesday was a huge day in the market, one of the biggest trading ranges that it's had in quite some time, and put a very solid close back above that 2075 resistance area, also breaking out of this consolidation as noted, where we had these lower highs setting in. So next up, we really need to get above our 2100 area resistance here, and that's going to set us up for a move back towards 2130, which is right around our all-time highs, and that will set us up for a move back to all-time highs. Another thing to note is we did catch support down here on this 2020 support area, which was going to kind of be our last area till we got back down to 2000, and of course breaking below 2000 gives us tons of empty space to 1950 and below. So glad to see that 2020 area did hold up as support, and that low off of this top also gives us about a 25% pullback. So pretty decent pullback heading into next week. So we need to see that close above 2100, a push to 2130, and hopefully this head and shoulder pattern trapped in some bears, and we could see a pretty good squeeze. All right, now for the watch list this week, let's take a look at the FFBC. You'll notice a few bank stocks or financial sector stocks, and that is because that sector has been performing really well. So we've been able to find a couple charts that are trading the high relative volume in that sector, and you will see some of those in this watch list. FFBC has been putting in a pretty solid uptrend, trending right along with its 20, 50-day moving averages. You could see into last week you had some higher relative volume come in as we attempt to push through this 1970 multi-top. So going to be watching that for next week. I like the candle. We're holding above our 20-day moving average. Our risk is pretty low right here. For reward, we can get a possible move up and through 2050. So keep an eye for that breakout area here over 1970s. Next up on the list, let's look at AMPH. So you can see since this one last reported earnings on May 9th that it has basically gone straight up. It's put a huge ramp in from a low of 1170 now to a high of 1585. So tons of range right there, an opportunity. Not something you want to chase up higher, but you could see right as we got to this 1550 resistance area, that's where things started to slow down. And it actually created a nice little flag pattern that broke out on Friday. So going to be looking for a move up and through this $15.90 to $16 area, and that could potentially set us up for a move towards this next resistance area here at about 1680s. Next up on the list is ELNK. I like this one here as we've recently had this pretty major sell-off, now found a bottom, and now started to put in some higher lows. Again, we've got our 20-day moving average now crossed above our 50-day moving average, and those two moving averages starting to curve upwards to clarify that general trend direction. And we've also just broken out of a multi-top resistance here at 640 with our close Friday at 658, and also putting in pretty decent relative volume as well. This one looks like it's good for a move up to about $7. So watch that into Tuesday to see if we get any type of movement continuation. Your risk on this would be this 640 area of resistance or just below that. As resistance is broken, you would expect it to turn to support. So very defined risk versus reward ratio on this one, and you're looking at about a 15-cent risk to a 50-cent reward. Next up on the list, the UCBI. So another one here that falls into that financial or banking sector. You could see just a very large daily wedge that's formed here now off these lows. You had your inverted head and shoulder pattern down here with a breakout above that neckline, which gave you this nice big move, giving us our third tap to the top of this wedge pattern and confirming it. And since then, we've sold off, kind of came underneath our 20-day moving average, which is not uncommon. You could see right before the last breakout, we dipped back underneath that 20-day moving average, reclaimed it, and then had a nice big ramp. So kind of looking for that same type of move here. Major resistance area here at 2015, and you can see that we have gone and closed above that now. You've got a 3-day ramp, slight consolidation, and looks like it possibly is going to head up and break over this 2050 area and out to the top side of this wedge, putting in some new highs. You can see the volume, lots of relative volume and collecting in this area here. So good one to keep an eye on next week. See if we can get above that 2050 area and break to the top side of this wedge. Start getting move up to that back to these prior highs over here, which is around 2180 or so. Next up on the list is WMS. Another one here that's been trending pretty well. Check out the volume on this one. Had some huge volume days back here, and still good relative volume over here as we break out of this 2440 area. You're putting in the higher lows, so you've got a decent uptrend forming right now, and this 2440 area, major multi-top resistance, and just got a nice big breakout above that area, and a lot of potential upside on this one. From that last previous sell-off, you have some possible resistance you can run into here around 2750, so keep an eye on that area. And 2835 is going to be our next major resistance area, so look for continuation volume into Tuesday, and I would like to see this 2440 2450 area start to act as support if we do see a breakout and some form of pullback on that to set up for an entry. Next up on the list is YDKN. Clearly see the uptrend that's occurring right now on this one. This is another financial sector, bank sector one. Let's zoom out here to a 10-year chart, and you guys can see that the uptrend on this chart is pretty significant and been going on for quite a few years, since basically 2011, 2012 till now. This chart has done nothing but trend up and put new highs in. It's had a huge correction here along with the market as well. Now grinded its way back up towards these highs, and if we get the SPX showing strength in the next week and pushing out over 2100, over even to 2130, I have a feeling this one goes with it, and we'll also push out back over 2717, 2715 to new highs as well. It's pulled back since this large breakout and has managed to stay above 2580 support area, which was our major resistance breakout, as you would expect that to turn to support. So if we do continue back up towards 27, we want to see the break and close above that 27 area, and also confirm that that 27 area will turn to support on any pullback. Big relative volume. Again, all my charts, that's really what I'm looking for, is this large relative volume. I want to see that there's new buyers coming in. I want to see some new interest coming into the stock. So watch for that breakout over 27. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for the watch list for this week. If you guys have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for future videos. Also check out the website eatsleeptrade.net. Got a lot of new content on there all the time. Also just revamped the homepage. I think it looks a lot nicer, so don't forget to check that out. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you into next week, and good luck.